Good morning out there. This is Washington, D.C. January 1st, 2023. About 8:40 in the morning. Walking through my old neighborhood. Me and my wife. Yes, indeed. Some of the apartment buildings and stuff along here. These apartments. Those crash right there. This is the other side. Street we coming down. The area where I used to live at is Ward 5 of Washington, D.C. And it's now sectioned off as 5A01, which D.C. is divided into 8 wards. And of course, my old neighborhood is in the 5th ward. And the 5th ward is cut up to about 24 different areas. So this the area I'm walking today. It's the 5A01, the neighborhood which I grew up in. Was finished in development back in 1947. Everything that was built now was built in 1947. Between 1942 and 1947. This is a look at the apartment buildings as me and my wife are walking here. There it is. This main street, we hear these cars running right here, is North Capitol Street. It divides Northeast DC from Northwest DC. And this 5A01 section, which was my old neighborhood that I grew up in, has a population a little over 8,000 people just in this small area. So I'm walking this whole neighborhood. You see like nothing but apartment buildings. Probably the average rent per month is like $2,000 a month or more. That's what it costs to live in DC. In this particular area, Ward, in Washington, DC, some areas of DC might cost $5,000 and $6,000 a month to live. Want to say hi?
Hello.
That's my wife. She has few words, but she has great actions. We've been married for 38 years now. That's nice. So walk in this neighborhood again. Showing you the pictures of the apartments. Live video of the apartments. Apartments and homes mixed together. One of our neighbors right there. Fenced in area. That's how it looks. How you doing? How you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
You want to be on video? No? Let me turn the other way. I'll turn the other way. But we like live streaming. Yeah. Yeah, so it's all right. I didn't let him walking. You said that was real? You said that was real walking on the ground? Wow, huh? Jeez. I'm talking to that lady and turn my direction. My God. Somebody need to clean that up. Taxpayers pay for that. Yeah. My goodness. Here we go. So back to the neighborhood thing. Of course, we passed by a lot of apartment buildings. That's a helicopter in the sky there. So we're walking. So this 5A01 is North Capitol Street to Allison Street to Fort Totten Street to Riggs Road. And over there, on this side, for the entire must be 7 or 8 blocks or more, you got the oldest graveyard in the District of Columbia. I don't know, you must have got over 100 and some thousand people in there, because I think it was built back in the 1700s. So, very old. And then right on the, and that's again North Capitol where all the cars are riding. If I switch this back over again, this is the fire station right here. This fire station, engine number 14. So you know, something go wrong with tax dollars in America. People mention about you gotta pay taxes in America. You don't pay them in some places like Mexico, or might not pay them in Africa. There's a fire hydrant right there. That fire hydrant is what they put the hose into if you have a fire. You're gonna run a lot of water on it. So your taxes actually take care of the fire department. They take care of the police department. They take care of schools and teachers. They take care of the sanitation, like picking things up that have died on the street, picking those things up. That's what it basically pays for. And probably some other services, probably social services. You know, people may be homeless, people, you know, need housing, they can't afford it. Pays for all that type of stuff. So that's what taxes pay for, and that's what means you don't see people like, you might see people down in the downtown mall area. You might see homeless tents, but you don't see homeless tents in communities like this. You know, that's downtown, you know. Down there with nobody, you know, the neighborhood is gonna complain about it. So they'll take it down on the mall. A lot of that is federal ground, so, you know, the government usually kind of lenient, let people be out there in their tents. Don't push them away. Yeah. Just walking the neighborhood still. I'm panning over toward where that cruise graveyard is again. Where the cars are on North Capitol Street, speeding up and down the street. Yeah. Now I'm panning back over to residential homes in this area. We're still on North Capitol Street right now. We're gonna make a slight turn on. I guess it's going to be Hawaii Avenue. You know, Hawaii Avenue runs right into Allison Street. So these are homes. All these homes basically right here are selling for maybe $600,000 now. See, they're all considered row houses. They're all attached to one another. But they're going for like $600,000 right now. So you're talking about a huge amount of money just to invest in Washington, D.C. And this is Ward 5. This is not the area downtown where the mall is, or the Capitol, or the Monument, or the richer part of town. This is just the average part of town. Yeah. So that's what we got. We'll wait for the light. Wait for this light to turn. So that's the average part of town we live in here in like DC. So again, I'll peel over there to the graveyard again. You got some huge monuments over there. You know, people been, like I said, the graveyard's built in the 1700s, man. So you gotta, I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's the graveyard that has the second president of the United States, President Adams. I believe he's buried over there. This is the panel up again. All right, so we're at the point now where that sign right there, that sign right there has North Capitol Street. So there's the sign for that saint. And also inside this graveyard is the oldest church in America. I think it was built in 1610. So, you know, we're not going to view that now. We're just going to go actually in the neighborhood which I grew up in. So now pan it back again. There's the various homes right here. See, these homes are right on the main street. Right on the main street. There's a tree. My wife's back there behind me walking. Got the tree again. Yep. So this is this neighborhood where I grew up in. Me and my brother served papers in this area. Newspapers used to serve the Washington Post early in the morning. Now the Post is basically streaming online. You pretty much do not have to buy a paper anymore if you don't want to. Just look at it online. And across the street there is an apartment building. That's 1 Hawaii Avenue, Northwest, because we're in Northwest. That main street, North Capitol, divides northeast from northwest. So paying back to the homes again. Yeah. Race neighborhood. Anybody's wondering, like, the wildlife in Washington, D.C., you have maybe 4 different kind of antelope actually running around here. You have possums, you have raccoons, course, you have a billion squirrels. You have foxes. You have hawks, eagles, abundance of crows, things of that nature. But you have a lot of wildlife living right here in the District of Columbia. This over here, if I pan again to my right, that's another graveyard. That's a military graveyard. Soldiers who have passed away in various wars are buried up in there. A lot of graveyards in Washington, D.C. A lot of graveyards. Now we come to the street, which is Allison Street. So we're going to go over Allison Street now. We're turning the corner, so we're going North Capitol. Now we're on Allison Street. These are how the homes look here. Basically, again, row houses, and they're they go for about $600,000. Yeah. You got the street pretty much lined with trees. Walking the street, you got the trees. You got your poles which carry your electricity, things of that nature. Yeah. There we go. Of course, the neighborhood changes around from time to time. You get, some of these homes become investment properties. People rent them out, have renters living there, tenants living in there. Some people, they pass away, of course. That's life, and more people born. So this neighborhood I grew up in could change around, could change every 15 years. It could be an entirely different neighborhood to be. I would see people that I actually don't even know. Not like if you're in a village, I guess, somewhere like Uncle Mo and IMR and Mwango. You pretty much run into the same people, grow with them, raise with them. Here is a totally different type of situation. Totally different type. Yeah. I'm panning it over toward the right again. See the homes on the right hand side. Yeah, that's the alley. So this is Allison Street. And Allison is going to turn, let me put it there, it's going to turn to Fort Totten. See that sign there saying Fort Totten? So we're almost curving it around. And over across there is U.S. Park Service. Land is owned by the federal government. This actually was a site right here where during the Civil War back in 1964, 1963, this is where they had the cannons set up. And the cannons were big and powerful enough even back then to fly a distance of 5 miles in the air. You could hit the Confederates who were coming across what is now the Maryland line into D.C. So D.C. has a lot of forts strategically set up all over the place. So this is kind of like what the woods area looks like around here. Like any other place, there's a lot of green. A lot of green going on here. Trees and stuff. Hear various birds squeaking. So I'm gonna go over here to it's 49 degrees in DC. I'm gonna go over to this memorial thing and sign put the camera on that so you can look at the memorial. The actual structure is like gone. The ground of how it looked, how everything was smooth around is pretty much the same way since then. But the cannons are gone, the cement structures that house the cannons are gone, that type of stuff is gone. So we're panning back this way again. Still looks pretty green here. This is January 1st, 2023. Still looks pretty green. Again, I'm in Washington, D.C. Look that area, you see the homes are there. The land we are on right now is owned by the federal government Park Service land. Maintained by the Park Service. A bunch of guys and gals who patrol the Park Service. The park is open dusk. It's open in the day, early sunlight, and it's closed during the dusk. So you're not allowed up here after nighttime. They want to keep it safe that way. And they have people patrolling. So they're going to patrol it and definitely try to keep it safe. And so I'm gonna wheel this camera around again so you can see this memorial right here. See how the hills are kind of structured right there? Same way, look when they had the same way when the cannons were up there. Here's the writing right here. Honey, you want to read that writing for me? I believe my camera is faced on it properly.
Fort Totten, one of the Civil War defenses of Washington. Construction of Fort Totten was begun in August 1861, named after General Joseph G. Totten. The fort contained 20 guns and mortars, including 8 32-pounders. United States Department of the Interior National Park Service.
Thank you, sweetie. So we're around here again, walking the area. So I'll turn it around so we can see the homes again as we walk. The homes there. And you see these streets, so even though it's North Capitol Street to a little bit of Hawaii Avenue to Allison, back to Fort Totten again, the streets in between are Buchanan and Crittenden streets where the residential folks live at. You know, like I said, in all the apartments, I think all in all, from this particular angle, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can see most of Maryland here. Come over here, huh? See over there? Top of those homes, you see those buildings over there?
Mm-hmm.
So you pretty much the cannons were aimed way over there. I think I hope I have my phone in the right area so you can see it. Yeah, if you look above the residential homes, you see like white structures and buildings over there. That's all Maryland. DC up here on Fort Totten is higher ground. That's what all the cannons normally set at higher ground. So 40 homes were building from 1942 to 47. You could just forward, you could see all from here to Maryland. It wouldn't be any restriction at all. So if they shooting these cannons at somebody, they wouldn't even know where the cannons are coming from. They'll just get destroyed in the shelling. Yeah. Like a couple little park benches right here. So we're walking through the area here. Yeah. Yeah. Think anything you want to say, honey?
No, I have nothing to say.
Nothing to
You're
say.
saying it all.
I'm doing all the talking. Okay, let me look over here. There's the radio tower, TV towers right there, right beside the police station, way up there on Ward 4 up there by Georgia Avenue. You can see that from up here. Residential homes again. The expanse of the woods. Parks are a huge park. We got a lot of big parks in DC. This is a pretty huge park as well. Somebody's got a little big dog running over there in the morning. More residential homes right there. This street right here we're looking at is Fort Totten Drive, named after that same general that the fort was named after. You want to try to go in the woods and walk that path everybody walking there? Okay, we're gonna try to walk the path in the wood area so you can get an idea the structure it looks like here. So again, this is 5A01 Washington D.C. Ward 5. We're gonna take a glance through all wooded expansion here. Oh, here's another type of sign over here. They put, see what this thing says, honey. Honey, you want to read this? I'm put it. Go ahead.
Fort Totten, entrance gate to Fort Totten, 1865. Members of the 3rd Massachusetts Heavy Artillery inside Fort Totten, 1865. Built in 1861 and named after Brigadier General Joseph Gilbert Totten, Chief of the Army Corps of Engineers, Fort Totten commanded the northeastern countryside of Washington, D.C. during the Civil War. Heavily armed with massive cannon that could hurl 100-pound projectiles several miles, Fort Totten halted the eastward advance of the Confederate invaders inside Washington, D.C. during the Battle of Fort Stevens in July 1864. By the late 1920s, the historic earthworks inside Fort Totten showed significant signs of erosion, which threatened the preservation of the fort. To stabilize the fort, vegetation was planted. Removal of vegetation from the fort and its ground is prohibited.
Thanks, hon. Appreciate it. Now we're going to clone over here again. There. Yes, indeed. Yes, even though you're in the thick of the city, you can always find a way out. Little piece up here, little run around, fresh air coming out of here. Pan a little bit more to this side. Okay. Look at this. It's enough of this woods. Let's go back and check and get around the Fort Totten and follow it down. I don't want to track all the way through the woods. That wasn't a part of the plan. You know, this is an old neighborhood. Not too much a part of the plan.
I thought you could see the metro station.
I don't know. You think you see a metro station over there? Well, we can try. Come on. Let's go over here. Yeah, look down when you're walking because, you know, some people don't pick up waste from their dogs. Make sure we don't up enough in here. Definitely like that. The sun rising there, it's beautiful. Yeah, so this is like high ground again. You can see kind of through the dense forest, you see some more residential dwellings or businesses down there, but not as much with so much overgrown brush. So, I think this we go further up here. I think this just takes us where Catholic University is. I think you can overlook maybe their you call it baseball field, the diamond field. But I don't know. There's so many trees and stuff in the way. I don't think you can actually see through it over there. So we can try to walk up here, see what's going on. Probably need to be on a 60-foot tower. That would be excellent. Like if they build a 60-foot tower, people falling off the tower. Need supervision. Walk the tower. That's the metro station, trains. What's that little path here? Check this little path out. Look at this little path out going down here. Yeah, this is get back on course. There's a lot of walking. I haven't been to this woods in probably 20 years. So I don't know what's going on here. We're gonna just go ahead and pan this on back. Pan the camera back and phone back, and let's go ahead and hit back to the regular 5A01, which is the Fort Totten residential part of it. So this is to show there's a lot of wooded area in Washington D.C. that most tourists would probably not see. They just come to D.C. and they're on the mall. They just walk in the see the White House or the Monument or the Capitol or the Smithsonian, all those kind of places. This is part of D.C. You would never see. Now that you grew up in D.C. or you knew somebody that lived in this area, they could, take you to it. This is actually beautiful in itself. A lot of nature. Stuff going on here. A lot of nature. Yeah. That crunching sound, we're walking on the roads are like gravel roads, so they don't fill it with like mud and like that. So I guess these parts of his vehicles move here pretty smooth. So it's like big gravel and fine gravel smashed down, so it makes a real nice road. So more inexpensive roads. So I guess a lot of roads, I guess in villages, where it rains, it's just a bunch of mud. If you're in Africa, if you're in Kenya, where Uncle Mo and Aunt Mar and D Mwango stayed, where where it might be it'd be a lot inexpensive to put down a bunch of tar or cement, just grade the road off pretty good, and just put down the big gravel first and then the small gravel next. It sinks in there, and the road will probably last forever. You might only have to maintenance it once every maybe 5 years, depending on traffic coming through your particular area. If you have a lot of traffic in there, it'll stay there forever. So it's an idea. This is a suggestion. Just a suggestion. So there's a lot more areas to explore in these woods. When I was a really young guy, when we come through these woods, we used to set up big thick ropes and swing from tree to tree like we didn't have good sense. Think back now, I said a lot of us could have got hurt, but we made it through all that stuff without getting hurt. Run through these woods. What are these buildings over there? They must be over there with that huge graveyard. That's
probably the veterans.
Oh, maybe that's the soldier's home.
Yeah.
Let me pan off that way so y'all can see that building. Let me see if you can see it. Let me see. Oh, my wife walking right there. See if I can.
Well, that might be the church.
Nah, church is that huge, isn't it? No, I don't think.
There's a graveyard right there.
Well, I mean the whole thing is a graveyard, but I mean that's
okay, that's the veterans.
Yeah, I think that's the veterans place that's further down there. I don't know if you can see it now. Maybe you can see a huge building up there. I think that's the soldier's home building. That's a since we're up so far, like where they put those cannons there, we can see places further away. So that place there we're looking at now might be 3 miles away. A huge building there. I think that's the soldier's home building. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay. So we're gonna go back down to Fort Totten Drive, and then further walk through this 5A01, so I give you guys a good indication of what this little piece of Ward 5. Like I said, Ward 5 broken up to probably about 22 to 24 different pieces. Our little piece, probably about 6,000 to 8,000 residents live here. Probably maybe 450 homes, like the homes that you kind of like see here, and I think 18 apartment structures in this particular area, the 5A07, which was fully developed by 1947, and construction started in 1942. So we're gonna cross Fort Totten. We're gonna cross Fort Totten again, and we go ahead Let me turn this camera this way. My hand, sorry about that. My hand. So we're back on the Fort Totten Road. And we're panning back this way. That's the woods back up there. Signs and everything indicating what's going on there. Back to residential homes over here. Coming to apartment complexes now. We got people who are not having homes or living in DC. Nice apartment structures, you know. Of course, like, you know, most all major cities, you know, you got your running water, you got your sewage system that takes the rainwater, sewage water away to a place called Blue Plains, where they, you know, they take care of it there. That's how this looks. And so as you're living here and walking, you're actually right by the U.S. Park, which means you get a lot of fresh air. That's why it's 5 different kind of antelopes living up there and all those other kind of various animals. Because, you know, you can't hunt them. I mean, some people probably do, but you're not supposed to hunt them against the law to do that. So I guess from time to time, the park sheriffs will take care of that or weed them out. You know, do their own, like, do their own hunting up in there. Well, yeah, here we go. This vacant land, since I've been here so long, this vacant land I'm looking right here, when I was a young kid, probably like 9 or 10, a rich guy actually had a mansion sitting here. He owned his whole land off to himself and had a mansion sitting here. When he passed away, the mansion was left empty for I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, and the government finally tore it down. I don't know he must still have family because someone's never developed on here, so they still own this particular property right here. This property alone right here in District 11, if these people tried to sell it, probably be worth about $3 million easy in today's money. Yep. Here's a look at these electrical poles. Let me go ahead and turn this up high. So you see those electrical poles? These are all along the streets, you know, bringing electricity services into apartment buildings and homes all around here. You can see. Yeah. Here we go. So people, you know, if you have mail, a lot of places about mail, these are like mailboxes. So these mailboxes are stationed all over the city, so you can put your mail in here and it's secure and locked, and the post office can pick it up and take it to the post office and mail it. So they're all over DC, all over Ward 5. You walk around this one. They got on the street. Walk behind. Yeah. Yeah. More apartment buildings here, all over the place. What's up, man?
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. You got your goods ready.
And I had to get it in. I had to get my hike in, too. Y'all have a good one.
All right, man. I was stopped and gave some conversation to my man there, but I'm carrying those heavy bags. I've been knowing him actually, man, for probably since junior high school, I guess 40-something years ago, probably. Long time. Yeah. Draw this behind me. Right behind you too.
Morning, y'all. Happy New Year.
Hey, good morning, man.
Y'all get that morning exercise.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Y'all have a good day.
You too. So what we coming down to now, folks, is I look pan right across the street again. That's the wood area, and you have the underground metro, which travels underneath my particular property, and hooks up the DC system all downtown, all through Georgia Avenue, all through upstream, heads out to the Maryland side, all that type of stuff. That structure right there is called a ventilation shaft. It sends air down to the metro train so you can breathe. And my pan back this side. That's another apartment building. This property that we're coming to now is actually my property. It's a property that my dad purchased. I think the camera's doing it right. It's a white building. Let me see. No, this way. Yeah. Okay. It's a property that actually my dad bought back in '67, and it's actually the oldest structure in 5807. This actual building was built in 1915. And we've been working as a grocery store since 1967, and it was a grocery store even back in the Civil War times. It used to be a trading post. So the same structure building, which we have take great efforts to renovate, new roofs on, renovated, air conditioning, heating, all type of system, was here before anything else was around here besides the fort. This was built, like I said, in 1915, and the fort thing will be in 1864. So this is the only structure that was actually here. But nothing else around here was here. These homes were built in 42 and 47. So we're still walking Fort Totten Drive. That's the entrance over there to, they have a cement company called Aggregate Cement Company. Build all those skyscrapers downtown or buildings downtown. They provide a lot of cement to them. Pan back over here again. That white building's still in the view. That's my building there. So let's see. Then we're going down some more apartment areas. So, honey, I think we gotta go through past then and come around. What do you think? Oh, we just keep going straight because this will take it right to the Ridgewell. Not. I guess we can do this. Might as well do this. I'm sorry, let's do it, honey. Let's cross. Let's go over and cross the street line. Oh, it's a red light there, man. They gotta stop. There you go. Right here is a place called what is it called? Let me see. It's called the Bright School, and you got the Mary Ann Center. The Bright School is a charter school, not a regular public school, but it's bilingual. So mostly Spanish kids go there. They learn the English. So they might be from any place in South America, Dominican Republic, any place that speaks Spanish, and we're coming to America, and they got their own school here. Take care of them. This Mary Ann Center takes care of people need glasses or vision problems or dental stuff. takes care of that. Yeah, that's what that does. You know, exactly. Yeah, that's basically what this is. And believe it or not, in the nation's capital, you have a place where people can actually farm. The Park Service has divided a little bit of land so people can actually grow product and stuff here. So we pan back this side, back to this is again the Park Service area, and they got these paths. Let me see. Let me see the camera. Yeah, these paths you walk through. See these little paths? These paths are leading down to the metro station. From that metro station, you can go anywhere in the world. So you basically live in an area and just walk to the metro. Metro take you to the airport. Airport take you anywhere you want to go in the world. That's basically how I go. There's somebody early in the morning. There's a train going across there. You can see it. Hopefully, I have this phone positioned properly. Here's back to the farm area. See that people, people growing all types of stuff here, I guess. But you know, it's the winter season here in America, so I don't think you're gonna be coming up with too many crops. But this shows the expansion of the area. This is a U.S. Park Service area where they petition also people can actually have farms here. Everybody got their own little space, their own little plot, grow whatever type of vegetables and goods they want right here. That's basically how it goes. Yes, indeed. Another view of the school up there. You got two schools. You got another charter school also there as well. And I'm going to the woods here again. And so look backward like this, it gives you a shot of how far the actual farm plots go. They go a pretty good distance, cover a large ground area. So yeah, a lot of people. I think those plots you go to the U.S. Park Service and ask them you want a plot, and if somebody leaves one, you have one. Most time people get those little plots, they usually keep them forever. And most of those plots, believe it or not, Africans have those plots. They want to still be farming and close to the earth. So when they finish their hard 9-to-5 labor and work, they come here and do some more labor, but this labor is more enjoyable, I guess. They farm and grow various vegetables and goods, you know, take them home. Yeah. Yeah. So that's over there. So we look back over this way again. Gives you more of the wooded area around here. So we're coming down to a place which is called Fort Totten Metro Station. Fort Totten is one of those stations that has a upper and lower level, so it has a green line and red line. So from this particular station, not only can you just go to the train station, catch a train somewhere, go to the airport, catch a plane somewhere, but you can go to any place in the District of Columbia and Maryland, Virginia by going to this particular train station. Again, this is part of the 5A01. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I hope it's fun. I hope it isn't just exhausting.
Yeah. We're paying this away, and so you see these, see those towers there, radio towers, TV towers. You know, they can, submit. You know, that's how a lot of your cell phones work. You have cell phone things attached to that, so you always have clear frequency in cell phones. You know, coverage. So we have towers everywhere around here. Let me get a picture of the trains going across there. I think you can see the train going across there, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, missed it or not. Let me see. I'm gonna get up here. Where must the thing of water comes in? I was wondering what that was gonna be, a drainage system. I guess the water drains in, I'm on the wall. You wanna walk on the thing and peer over and take a backwards like picture of that thing instead of walking over down there? Don't want to? Okay, well, let's try to take it here. So this is the actual, the sun is gonna be on me right here. So I don't know if you can get a good view. So that's the sun.
Walk up there.
All right, let me go ahead and I'm gonna walk up this thing and try to peer over, see if we can get around that massive sun. So I'm not closing my eyes too much. Right, again, that's the woods over here. This is that's where the cars are parking when they come over there. Ooh, I'm gonna drop that. Wow. Huge drain. There's a bus coming down, so I'm in some kind of drainage thing here. I guess this drains the water off from hitting these, causing these structures to fall down. So I'm gonna walk up here and try to get a better view of this metro and train station together. You have tracks for the metro and you have tracks for the train, you know, which carries all matter of freight and everything right through the city. So I'm gonna see if I can get a backwards view on it. See if you get a backwards view on it. You can see that right there. Yep. That's that metro, Fort Totten Metro Station. See that right there? All right. You glance on the back off. Where you at, honey? Teresa, I'm going back. Hey, Teresa, I'm going back. Yeah. My wife got separated a little bit there. You walk this thing, it just keeps elevating, so she's like 30 feet down. You know? So I walk down this thing. This, I guess, is just a massive drain off, so the water's coming off that hill instead of having a problem with that train station. They just veered it off somewhere else, which is a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah. So we're still in that 5A01 section. Has a lot to offer. So if you like bike paths, jogging, walking your dogs, all that type of thing, this is perfectly area for you. Air is very fresh. Even with this, with these transportation buses and everything else, the air still seems very nice and fresh to me. Yeah. So paying off on this the window area again here. Yeah. So we come more closer to those massive towers. Probably the base of them. You see those towers right there. Towers on both sides. Tower over there as well. There's a security thing on the camera, on the pole right here. That's very good right there. Anything goes wrong in the path, they're definitely taking pictures of it right there. It's good. Yeah. Over here, this building right here is, if I'm mistaken, is the U.S. Park Service facility. So it's right right in the park pretty much. Or well, it's in the public park, but it's not. It's steps away from the federal park. Yeah. Yeah. Panning back this side again, we got all the wooded area still all around here. Right within the community, woods. Yes, indeed. Right underneath that huge tower right now. Look up, look how tall that tower is right there. Huge. Definitely huge. Pan back across the street. This is a logo union. It's got Verizon on it right there. This is that little building there is a place that has it's just a lighthouse. I'm not sure whether it's a lighthouse for the blind or some of that, but I think that's what it kind of like over there. This is a structure that's been here. They've been trying to build something here for seeming like 12 years now. And it seemed like, I don't know what's the problem, where they ran out of money on construction. But they basically had the shell here, so they got it fenced around. So hopefully they'll get the funds and build something there. I heard they were trying to build a job training place there 12 years ago, but somehow never came through. This is one of the many churches you'll find in Washington, D.C. You know, I always say Washington, D.C. has a church on every block. Church on every block. Which is a good thing, man, because you need to pray and give God the glory at all times. So again, we're coming out the metro station here, reviewing everything. And so this is the borderline of 5A01. This is Riggs Road. So across the street, again, the park continues across the street. But this is where the 5A01, where I grew up in Ward 5. We're walking on Riggs Road right now. So coming down this, we're going up Riggs Road. So we make pretty much it's a square. 5A01 is pretty much a square. So we're gonna make a square and come back to where we started at. Not sure how long this walk is taking. I think it's taking it's 53 minutes right now. Wow. Like, so it gives you an indication it's a pretty good distance to walk. Again, look over here, you see the more wooded area you come to again. A lot of green wooded area in the nation's capital. People from someplace else, I don't know whether you're from the UK or Africa or wherever you're from, you would not know this much wooded land owned by the federal government in a District of Columbia. We're supposed to stay like this forever. It's never gonna change. This was gonna stay. You see a bunch of trees that fell down and regrowth comes up again. Just like you would see in a forest, any place else in the world. And even though we're on this borderline, you got homes, you got residential homes everywhere. You say you pretty much cannot construct anything in the city. Now as you're downtown, you got your, you're putting skyscrapers down and you part of what's the land. Normally residential areas already built up. Yeah. This is coming on another school right here. This is another charter school. When I was younger, this used to be called King Elementary. Now it's called Bilingual. Again, you have a lot of Spanish kids, being taught bilingual, English and Spanish. Right now I'm on the street, I put the traffic got cars. That's coming down here. All that type of stuff. Here's that structure. Here's that structure right here. My wife will walk by me. Here. Here's that structure. DC Bilingual Public Charter School. Good morning, good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So we go visit, doing this. Another entrance. And this school, by the way, used to be called King when I was a young fella. Now it's a bilingual school. Been a bilingual school probably for, I guess, the last 15 years, I would say. Was actually donated to the District of Columbia. Again, it was at once a mansion. A rich fella actually donated the whole property to the District of Columbia back in the 20s. If I'm not mistaken, 20s, 30s, something like that. Yeah. That's the way that went. Little bilingual school. This is another one of the residential apartments in the District of Columbia. There's a big bus over here going home. Sunday morning is still in a hurry. Somebody's renovating the house over there. I used to know people lived there a long time ago. And so, again, it's panning over to this apartment again. Another apartment. You got so many apartment structures here in the District of Columbia. And 5801, hey, we got plenty of them here as well. This place called Chillum Manor Apartments. Used to have a lot of friends here back in the day, but that's back in the day. So none of those people even live here now. You got a whole new generation of folks living here now. And across the street over here, we see another church. I said in one of my videos in DC, there's a church in every block. Believe me, Jesus Christ is being worshipped here in America. Despite what people say, you come in these communities like this, you see churches almost on every corner. I think the first church we saw was called Impact. This church is called Plymouth Church. Okay? So I'm gonna wheel it back over here again, finish off this apartment right here. And this other kind of huge structure that we're coming to here now is, I guess you would call it assisted living. Older folks who are not mobile, need some assistance. They live in senior citizen home. They live in this large structure here. This structure right here, where this senior citizen home is now, has probably been here, I guess, I would say for like, I don't know, 13 years probably. But the thing about it, since I've been here so long and I grew up here, this used to be where a Safeway supermarket was. It used to be where a gas station was. I used to pack people's bag and carry people's bag when I was like 7 or 8, make a little change back in the day, make about $5, $6 a day back then in the 60s. What year? 60s. There's the front part of this assisted living place. Oh, let me show you this thing here. These speed cameras. See these? See those speed cameras right there? Those things average, because they're all over DC, they average over $1 billion in a year giving people tickets. $1 billion a year. Revenue comes to the city because, you know, people either do not know the signs, the big lights are there, they don't know the things are there, or they just, you know, for whatever reason, they're going a little bit over the speed limit, but nevertheless, they have to pay a ticket for it. So this is more that assisted living building that we're coming through. We're back on North Capitol Street again, so we made the full cycle. We're just on the other part of it, North Capitol further up. So we started off from North Capitol to Hawaii to Allison, to up there in the park, back then to Fort Totten to Riggs, and then we're back on North Capitol Street again. So, you know, this is we're coming toward the entrance of this building. Well, panning across the street, But again, it's Northwest. You got apartments and homes all over the place. So you know, it's an abundance of places we can live at in Washington D.C. Abundance of places we can own as investment properties. You can do it all right here in the city. So I'm gonna pan back over to your assisted living place, and that's the address of it on there. It's called North Capitol at Plymouth. It's called a retirement home foundation community, whatever that means. I think it's still the same thing. Assisted living and senior citizens. Just gave it a different name. Watch this glass. Just gave it a different name. Little thing for one of the bike. This right here, this building that we come to right now, this little building is it's an electrical station. So this is providing electricity for everybody. This whole station right here. Been here, man, forever. I remember going over and had to get a basketball when I bounced over years ago when I was a young fellow in elementary school. So it's been there before I was born, and I was born in '59. So been there for a long time. Again, so we're on North Capitol Street again. I pan it toward here. You see all the traffic flying down the street. And you go back this way again. These are the residential homes all on North Capitol Street. Yeah, here it is. Yes, yes, yes. Here we go. Well, about turn to Bennett, they used to say. Coming back to pretty much a full circle. I think we need to go that way and come up or just cut right through there. Whatever I want to do. I kind of wanted to go down there, but I don't want to go down there and have the, well, yeah, we'll cut down there. I guess I can also show the home that I grew up in as a little boy. My parents owned. So we still own the only commercial property in 5801 since 1967, 55 years. But the home which my parents grew up in, because the thing I was telling you before, the metro station, it tunneled directly under my parents' home in 1995, and they decided, being in the 70s then, they did not want to live underneath a tunnel, regardless of what technology said. It was safe. They said, get us out of here. So Metro had to pay them fee simple price for their house, and they sold it and bought a bigger, better house out in Maryland. But this house that we'll be coming to in probably about 4 minutes as we walk in was a house that I grew up in as a little tiny fella. Now the house has presently been bought by Sierra Leone's daughters and sons, and father and mother come in my store and do the shopping. And so a lot of the neighborhood around here has been bought by people from Africa. You got Ethiopians, I think 2 or 3 on the block. You got Sierra Leone, you got Jamaican, you got, very in apartment buildings, man. Let me start about that. Everybody from apartment buildings, I wish I could have panned, and I'm probably so early on Sunday, but I wish I could have panned and showed you people carrying groceries and stuff on the top of the head, guys. You always say, are we in the village or are we in the city? Where we at? But yeah, you're in the city, but couldn't see that. I didn't see anybody doing that kind of early on a Sunday. A bunch of driving going on. So we're still walking on North Capitol Street now. And so we'll be coming up to my home. And this home right here, which they told on, it was actually bought by my grandmother in the late 40s, and my mother inherited it. So we stayed there up until 1995. So it was in our possession from the early 40s to 1995 before the Metro came. This is the house actually that the Sierra Leones live in. They actually bought a house right over top of the tunnel. You have little vibrations and stuff going on and stuff like that. But that's it. This is where I grew up at. You see the sign? Yeah, I grew up at 5009 North Capitol Street. That's where I grew up at as a young fella. Before I knew where I was, that's where I lived at. Yeah. That's where that thing goes. And this land is actually here. This little red big brick building here is, believe it or not, my father had the opportunity to buy this stretch of land, which was then a bunch of large trees and lumber, for only the amount of $5,000 back in 1963. Good one. 1963. But decided not to. He lived to regret that. He said, man, I should have bought that property. So, we're back where we started from. The little street we started walking down to start off this thing. We're back here. That car that was parked illegally on my property has left, which I'm glad about that. I don't like really confronting people. I like they just obey the rules. So this stretch area here, all this, probably if you can see there, I had a neighbor wanted to grow some corn. Check this out, Uncle Mo, D Mo. I am Mara. Check this out. I'm growing a little corn back here. Isn't that something? Look kind of funny, huh? Can't feed Birmingham people, but there you go. A little bit of corn right there. Yeah. This little building is on our property. We're presently renting it out, trying to rent it out. Haven't got any takers yet. We had a tenant leave January 2022, so been a year vacant. This parking lot, enough parking lot for 20 or so vehicles to park here. So we're gonna go into the back entrance of the store and open up. And I'm gonna stop this video right now and say, hope y'all enjoyed 5801 Washington, D.C. Until next time, subscribe to my channel. Stay black in America.